Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everybody's having a good one and staying safe out there. So welcome to the new year. This is my first video for the new year, I believe, on coming up with a name. It's about contracts. So today we're going to be talking about contracts today. So I've got about 10 different things on my contract that I send out to people or to my clients. So I'll be going through all that today, and hopefully it helps you as a photographer, filmer, or another type of business person that goes through it and that has contracts as well, or as a viewer on the other side as the client. So that way you guys everybody has a better understanding about contracts, and hopefully I can go over some stuff that you may have missed on your contract, or if you want to phone in or whatever, or message in, make a comment down below of what you think I've missed on my contracts would be important to have on a contract. So let's get going on this. So the first thing I have on my my contract is to have contact info, phone number, email, location of the event, stuff like that. That way I can have multiple spots as to be able to get in contact with the client, because that's always very important to have the communication leading up to the event. So it's always nice to have the client feel at ease right before the event happens, whether it's like a wedding, a quinceanera, whatever the event may be. So it's always to have that communication and have their contact information. The next one that I have on my list is location. Always make sure that you have the exact address of the location where you're going to be, and make sure that you look it up, go over it with your client, and because if you have any questions, if you can't find that location, well, then that's going to be a problem, because if you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere. So I've done a couple of weddings out in Bend, Oregon, and the reception doesn't work out there. So I got no cell service whatsoever. But it's always nice to have that exact location of where the event's going to be, so that way you know how to get there and get there on time. When I do my events, like weddings, quinceaneras, and whatnot, I always make sure I get there like 30 minutes or an hour before the event actually happens, because I like to do a walk around of the location and get some ideas of photo shoot areas that we could do, some filming and whatnot. So that's always to have that in the back of your mind of where to have those good spots to photograph and film. Alright, so the next one on my list is payments. So I have a 25% non-refundable payment. Not a deposit, because deposits meaning you get the money back. It's a non-refundable payment. You have to make the payment to secure that time spot for that event. So I always do a 25%. Other people do 50%. Others do 30%. Depends on the person. So everybody's going to be different. But for me, it's 25% non-refundable. So you don't get that money back. That's pretty much securing your spot for that time. So let's say you have a wedding on June 5th. In the total sum of me being a photographer coming out there for 8 hours, let's just say it's like $4,000. So I require the client to pay 25%, so that way, which is $1,000 out of the $4,000, and you don't get that money back, because that's you paying for that date, and yes, it goes to the overall amount that you owe of the $4,000, but you don't get that money back because you're paying for that date. And because if you decide to cancel, you as a client decide to cancel, well, I'm out $4,000 and you want your money back. Well, I could have had other clientele come up and be like, hey, well, can you do June 5th? Sorry, I can't. I got another wedding. Sorry, I can't do it. But then if you decide to cancel on me, well, then I could have been out another like X amount of dollars, and now I don't get any money back. So, yes, it sucks sometimes because weddings don't work out, quinceañeras don't work out, whatever the event may be doesn't work out. I'm not out of money, and it's to secure. It's beneficial for both you as a client and me as a photographer, because I have also had clients decide to cancel last second on me just because. I know you're there. Yeah, go ahead and just have a good day. It's like, well, now I drove myself out here and I made it, and now I could have had other paying clients to come out here. Yeah, it sucks, but you know what? It holds both of us accountable. As a client, as a business owner, and as well as the client. So, and then so that's 25%. So then I record the other 75% at least 3 days in advance before the event happens. So if it's like a wedding, lots of stuff happens during the weddings. So, and I put all that time and effort into it. And so I need to make sure that I'm getting paid, because I know clients are the brides and grooms or whatever the event may be. Well, they like their honeymoon. They're distracted with each other, and for good reason, and because you guys just got married. And so I'm not going to get the rest of my money until months later, probably. Well, I'm at home editing away at all the photos and videos and whatnot. So I need to get paid for my time and effort. So that's why I always have the remaining 75% paid beforehand. Because I've done so many events, or not so many, but I've done at least 4 different events so far, and that to where the people didn't want to pay the remaining balance. So I had to eat up thousands of dollars just because people didn't want to pay me. So that's why you also have to have the people sign the contract, which I have also learned myself. So yes, that's my fault for not having people sign the contract. So now that I have to have, I try not to bug people, but like, you gotta be firm about it. And you're like, hey, look, I need to be able to get paid. I need you to sign the contract so that way I can hold you liable for me coming out and spending hours and hours and hours of my own time to photograph your festival, your quinceañera, your wedding, whatever the event may be, your concert, whatever. So I need to be able to secure my safety as well as yours, because people will try and skip out on the money. And then, so with that being said, the next one that I have on here is due dates. So make sure you know when the day of the event is, and then so let's say it's June 5th for the event, and depending on how many other events that you have lined up afterwards, will determine your due date for the edits. So if you're constantly just like going from one event to another, your timeline for the edits might be a little bit longer. Yeah, it sucks sometimes. It's like, but we also gotta get paid for our time and efforts and whatnot, and we also gotta line up other stuff so that way we can secure money for us as well. So that way we can pay our bills as well. But for me, I'm trying to, this year for 2026, I am trying to set up a bunch of events So so I'm not as busy as other photographers. So right now my edit due dates are between 4 to 8 weeks from the time of the event. So that'll give me plenty of time. So that gives me some good cushion to because life does happen. So like you can get sick, you have other events to go to, family events, whatever it might pop up. That way you have that cushion. But I usually do end up getting all the edits before the 4 to 8 weeks. But I'd rather be safe than sorry and not have those edits done on time. But so with that being said, if I do get busier, I will be pushing that out more. So it'd probably, instead of 4 to 8 weeks, it'd be like 6 to 12 weeks or something like that. But don't go, oh yeah, I'm going to have it done in 9 months for you. No, that's not fair for you as well as the clients. You're just going to get a bad reputation of being, not being lazy, but just not being efficient with your time management. So always make sure that you set yourself up for a better future, for happy customers instead of failure, and having your customers and clients badmouth you, and then eventually you're not going to get any clientele whatsoever. So the next part on the list that I have is for like photo sessions. This is more for photo sessions than anything else, and it's a minor's clause. So I stated in my contract saying that if I'm going to be doing a photo shoot for a family, parents and or legal guardians have to show up and be there for the whole entire time. They can't leave. So if parents, legal guardians, whoever is in charge of the kids has to be there the whole time. So if the parents, legal guardians, whomever is in charge of the kids can't be there, then we're going to have to reschedule. I'm not a babysitter, nor do I want to be the babysitter for you guys. Kids are awesome, but at the same time, nowadays it takes like the kids to say something and it could ruin your reputation. And I'm not about that, and I don't want any bad mouthing or anything. I do provide good services for people, and I don't want someone just to say something and be like, oh hey, and then have it blow up. And yeah, no, I'm not about that life. So that's why I would say make sure parents are always there, so that way nothing goes awry. Always have someone be with you on photo shoots, even as adults doing like a specialty type of photo shoot. Always bring a friend with you. The more people, not more like a lot of people, but several people, the better. It's better for you, better for the client, better for everybody all together. So next on the list is rescheduling, cancellation, no shows. This is why I put a 25% deposit, non-refundable, not deposit, my bad, a 25% non-refundable payment. Because if people don't show up, well, you're screwed out of all that money, especially since they didn't pay for you to be showing up when you're supposed to. So always do that. Always have that part of your contract for rescheduling or cancellation, no shows. Then it goes into the next one, which is non-payment. Always make sure that they pay ahead of time and be like, hey, look, I'm not going to show up until contract is signed. So that's on the bottom of my paperwork is, contract and the non-refundable deposit has to be made in order for me to show up. Depending on the event and what you set up for your payment system, depending on that, you can show up to the event. But for me, it's a non-refundable payment. Like, yeah, we can work out a payment plan and not have the whole thing paid for all at once. But always make sure that some form of money has been deposited, at least to your minimum. For me, 25%, and the contract signed. And like I said before, I've had several events where it's like, yeah, good luck, buddy. I don't like your photos. I'm not paying for you. See you later. Bye. Well, now you're stuck with no money and whatnot. And this way, if you have this contract signed, you can you can go to court and get that settled. So that's why contracts are always important. So that way you can get that stuff signed and everything's legal. And that way, if you do go to court and be like, hey, judge, check this out, and you got proof that they signed it and that they checked off the box saying that they understood what the repercussions could be if they do no shows, try to sue you and whatnot. For any changes on the contract, so let's say for like a wedding, they want X amount, or they want you to do certain things, and then at the wedding, they're like, oh, wait, hang on, can we change this? Can we add on this? Or can we subtract this? You can be like, sure, hang on just a second. You like re-edit it really quick, and then you give it back to them. They look it over. If they agree with what you just, with everything that's on the new contract, both you and the client put your signatures, date it, and that way, if they come back and be like, hey, no, look, you changed it, you signed off on it, that's what you wanted, so that's what you got. You can't change it back to the old one because you changed it, you signed off on it, you dated it. So this is what you wanted. So that's what you got. So I'm not going to do more I'm not going to try and do more stuff for you for less money. If that makes sense. One of the last things that I have on there is a 30-day download policy. So once I am done with editing all of the photos, videos, media, I put it onto like a Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever, or USB. If it's like all online for you to download, you have 30 days to take it, to download it. And within that 30 days, if you don't download all your media that I've uploaded for you, I'm taking it down because I have other clientele to be able to upload media too. So, like certain things like Dropbox and Google Drive have a certain amount of storage that you can upload to. So, if I only have so much hard upload space to use, well, and I've got like 10 different clients. Well, that's going to be used really quickly. So you got 30 days to download it. And if you fail to do that, then I have a clause on my paperwork, on the contract stating, okay, well, I'll have to re-upload it for you, but it's going to cost you like $50 just to re-upload. Because now I got to take the time and effort to re-upload and reschedule things to upload for other people, which is going to take time and energy and effort away from me, and it can delay my other clients as well. So, and then, so this second to last one that I've got, all media is owned by the photographer, me. So if I'm your photographer and you sign like a contract with a venue, and the venue wants to own all copyrights, all my photos, videos, and whatnot. No, that's not legally. That's not legal. They cannot legally own my content. I'm the one with the by law. I'm the one who with the camera, and I'm the one who took the photos, and I'm the one who took the media. So legally, it's mine. Unless I sign that right away from me. So, I like to own all my rights to all my videos and photos. So, unless I come up with a contract with them, like, oh yeah, hey, like, that's fine with me. But for them to say, hey, if you're going to show up to my place, you're going to be paying me and I own all that stuff. Sorry. Like, I might send like a couple of photos your way and be like, hey, thank you to this venue for hosting this bride and groom. It was an amazing event. Yeah, I'll tag you guys. But you guys don't own the rights to those photos. So for me personally, I'm not signing any contract saying that you own my photos. And I won't sign anything for that. Sorry. And if you do end up, and if that venue does end up using any of my media, I have the right to take them to court and for compensation because they don't own the rights to it. And then the last thing that's on my contract is it's a checkbox saying I understand all the things that are listed here, and that I know that if I use any of the media that for whatever purposes, then I will that I do not own any of these photos, and they're part of the photographer. So, I guess that reminds me of one more thing. But on that, going back to that, is that your acknowledgement, or the client's acknowledgement, stating that they understand everything. And so that way it's more of a security for yourself as the photographer, filmer, saying that, as a client, I'm going to follow these rules and I'm not going to try and screw you over. So, but going back a couple of steps, I forgot the one thing. I don't give out raw media. I'm against it, or not against it, but I don't do it. The only time that I will do it is if I give up ownership to it. So if I give up the ownership to it, to everything, all the photos, videos, and whatnot, then I'm going to be selling that as a package deal for you. So not only are you going to pay for me as a photographer to come out for the event, but then now you want all the photos as a sole ownership. You have to now pay extra for the sole ownership of it, because me as the photographer, I'm the one who owns it, since I'm the one who took the photos. So now you as a client going, hey, I would like sole ownership. Okay, that's going to be an extra $1,500 or whatever the compromise is for that price. But I won't give people raw videos or photos, because then they will be in control of like my destiny almost. And it's like, control of your destiny? What do you mean? Okay, so what I mean by that is, if I give you, the client, the photos, and then you edit the photos or videos the way that you want it, and it's not my style of editing, well, no, and then it gets promoted, and then you promote that out there, and now people are going to look at it two ways, like, well, that photo or that media looks horrible. I don't want that photographer to film or do any sort of photography for me, because that media looks horrible. Yeah, so that can ruin your reputation. But then on the other side of that, if the client, you as the client, go, hey, I want it, and then I'm going to edit it. Okay, cool. And if you as a client are a really good editor, well, and then they're like, oh, who was your photographer? And you refer me. Well, that style could be way above what I do, or going in a different direction that still looks really good. Well, then that could be it could misrepresent me, and the clients could hire me and then see what I do as the edit and like, hey, that's nothing what this looks like from this other client. So it's a misrepresentation of my work. So I don't want to lead people astray like, hey, like I do these different types of edits when it's not my style of editing, if that makes sense. So when that does happen, I just say, okay, since you've bought the rights to the media, you own the media. Please don't. You can say that I'm the photographer and I'm the one who took the photos, but I'm not the one who edited the photos. So I'd be willing to work with that, but please don't say, hey, he's a photographer. He's the one who edited this style when he didn't edit the style. Now it looks horrible. So, yeah. But other than that, that is my list of items that I have on my contract. And I like to stick to it. I don't, once people try and change things, then it's all downhill from there. And then they're going to try and change your whole entire contract system. And that, for me, that's a no. So, but other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and get a better understanding of the photographer side or the filmer side of the contracts and why we do the things like how we do them. If you have any comments or questions, please put it down in the comment section. That way we can help each other out, and that way I can have a better system too. If you come up with something better, I would love to hear from you guys as well. And hopefully, if you guys are photographers as well or filmers, hopefully this will help you guys out as well to get like a better understanding of what to put into your contracts as well. So other than that, hope you guys are having a good day. Hope all is well with everybody, and see you guys on the next video. Catch you guys later.